Calxiyn here with Erased Episode 2 reaction and review, and before we get into it, let's get into Calxiyn on the case, is what I'm calling this, because I do have some theories that from rewatching the last episode that I wanted to present to you guys. And so we're only on episode 2, so just going back and rewatching episode 1, I did have some ideas. The first thing is that there was a string over the mom's head in episode 1. It's very faint, but as she's making the phone call, you see this like glint right over her head, and it's like she's a little puppet on a string. So I don't know if that's literal, like her doing that sealed her fate in the concept of the revival time travel situation, but I thought that that was something to note. There's this shot of Satoru's childhood, and there's this car driving away. Could it be the dad? Could the dad have done it? So that's like two separate things. Like, one, the dad is not in his life, and also two is because the dad is not in his life, could the dad be responsible? Because the way that Satoru's mom was talking about it, it was someone that she knew and someone she hasn't talked to in a long time. So that could have just been a friend of the family. That could have been someone in their community. But for me, immediately, I think of like the way that she spoke to him is like, yeah, we used to be married and now we're divorced and we haven't talked in a long time. That's just what I was getting from that. It's very suspicious that the girl said him and the bus driver were casualties. Again, maybe that's just a weird translation thing. I talked about that when I noticed it last week, but I thought that I would bring it up again just because it implies that like there's another timeline where he died, you know, and that she somehow knows about that. I think there's something suspicious about that girl. I just haven't settled on what it is. And it's the same weird clairvoyant situation, like Yuki, like the man in the flashback, has the same weird clairvoyance as the girl does. The girl's just like, oh, I bet I can guess what you had for breakfast, and then Yuki's like, I can guess about the most popular kid in your class. So maybe there's always two people with two different powers, was my theory last week. The spiky pizza man seems important. Maybe they went to school together, the guy that's working at the pizzeria. I don't know 100%. Like, I guess, looking back, they don't look exactly the same, like the kid that is running towards the school and then the guy at the pizza place, but like they focused on him kind of a weird amount of times, and so I think that that's a little bit suspicious. Protagonist Kun, that's what I called him in my notes because I wasn't trying to say his name yet, but Satoru left his footnote murder book at the pizza place. And see, that's the weird thing, because I was under the impression that we are never ever going back to present day, but that would be weird because if we never go back to present day, like what was the point of that? The point that the mom has this little note in the key tray, like in the tray for the keys, or the fact that Satoru left the book about the murderers. That seems like those are things that are highlighted in the movie, like, you know, cinematography or like camera shot or whatever, to tell the audience that something is important. So I think that at the very least, the girl from the pizzeria will probably be delivering the murder book, and then see the fact that the police was called and like, no, he didn't do it. He has an alibi. He was working. But I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever return to the future is the thing. I wonder if as Satoru changes stuff in the past, he'll be snapped back into his real body, and then based on how he snapped back in his real body, we'll know whether or not his changes were effective, but I'm guessing that they won't be. That's what I'm guessing. I'm guessing that they won't be effective, no. Maybe Satoru lets himself get kidnapped on purpose so he can rescue them all. Instead of not getting snatched, he lets himself get snatched. And so that was because I actually looked at the picture, the heading on Crunchyroll for the series, and you have a bunch of kids in a cellar somewhere, and I didn't really notice that before, and so on second thought, I was like, okay, well, what if instead of preventing the kidnapping, what Satoru actually does is lets himself get kidnapped like he was supposed to, because it sounds like that's what happened. It sounds like that Satoru was supposed to be kidnapped like the rest of the kids, but now he didn't, because he had the revival and he had that sort of foresight, and so now it's like you need to set fate the way it was supposed to be, quote unquote, right? My personal opinion is that the revival only exists to stop the murderer who kidnapped his classmates. So if Satoru is arrested, that means he lost his chance. So every revival has actually been not to prevent the death of another person, but rather to prevent Satoru from dying and he doesn't realize it, or the incidents are somehow connected. And so basically I have two ideas, and one just struck me right now as I was talking. One, the revival is a fail state. Like, if you do not catch the murderer, if you're in prison, there is no way for the murderer to be caught, so that's why it sent him back to his childhood. The other thing, though, and this is a bit more of a darker interpretation, is that Satoru is supposed to die, and every one of these freak circumstances has been trying to course correct to kill him, but if he goes to prison, he can't be killed. Does that make sense? So there's two different things. There's two different theories with that. There's one, the revival exists to get the murderer caught, right? And if Satoru is in prison, game over, fail state, because then you cannot catch the murderer because you're in prison. The other thing is, if you're in prison, you're no longer outside in the world, right? And so it's almost like the revival can't try to keep killing him. I wonder if every single incident since the kidnapping has not actually been about, say, the kid that was gonna get run over. Somehow it was about Satoru, and Satoru has escaped death, and the universe has been trying to kill him all this time, and he's just been getting lucky. Because the first thing, like, when I saw the man taking the little girl away, I thought that what was going to happen last episode was that the man was going to kidnap the girl and then hit Satoru and the mom with the car, right? Like, as he's trying to get away, because he's in this parking lot, he wants to get away fast with his kidnapping victim, but because they saw what he was doing, he left the little girl and he just drove off, right? And so I wonder if it wasn't about the girl getting kidnapped, it was that because they noticed the driver or the murderer didn't act the same, and therefore Satoru did not die. I don't know. I'm trying to cook with that, but I'm not sure. For example, the guy driving away with the little girl. Maybe they'll reveal it's not actually that the revival activated to prevent her from being kidnapped, but instead the guy would have hit Satoru with his car in his pursuit to get away. So the purpose of the revival was to preserve Satoru. If he dies, the hunt for the murderer would end, so it sent him all the way back to his childhood. So that was the theory that I had when I wrote this. But now I'm kind of having that other theory. Well, what if it's not even about that? Like, what if it's not even about, like, oh, if he dies, it's game over? What if it's the opposite? It's that if he keeps living, and if he's safe in prison where the murderer can't somehow cause his death, it's equally game over. I don't know. Those were everything. I had a lot of stuff. I was cooking a lot. There was a lot of cooking going on here. Oh, the only note that I'm missing, and this should be the biggest deal, right, is that I think I know who the murderer is. I think it is the Power Ranger, because there are flashbacks where when Satoru is thinking about being heroic, he thinks back to this man in a Power Ranger costume. Then when the mom is dying, right, when the mom's about to die, she thinks about her mistakes and about her and Satoru, obviously, as she's dying. And there's this part where she's like, I should have, like, listened to you, and she has all that dialogue. And in the dialogue, you see Satoru holding up the Power Ranger mask. So what if that was not just, like, a cute moment from the childhood? Because they show that twice, I think, in episode 1, that same scene with the Power Ranger mask. And then they show the Power Ranger separately. So what if, to the audience, the implication there is that that's what Satoru was trying to tell her. It was a man who looked like this that kidnapped my friends. But I think that that's it. I'm pretty sure that that's everything. I think the Power Ranger thing, that was, like, the most important. Like, I think I solved the murder. I think whoever is wearing that costume did it. And that's what's so fucked up, is that the person who inspired Satoru to be heroic is actually the person that did the kidnapping, right? Someone who took a profession, right, if he's, I don't know, like, you know how people go to parties dressed as superheroes or whatever? So if he took a profession, this random man, to be closer to kids and used that profession, right, to present himself like a hero, but actually started to snatch children, there's something about that, you know? And so I think that that's interesting. But I think that that's basically it. If something else comes to me, I wrote a lot of notes, but then I also, if you guys don't know, my boyfriend, Murder of Birds, is also reacting to the show, so I sent him a different list of notes. For some reason, the Power Ranger was included in his notes and not my phone notes. So if anything else suddenly strikes me, I'll talk about it. But I think we can get into the reaction now. Let us just go ahead. 3, 2, 1, press and play. All right. Right. See, like, I wonder, like, maybe the truck would have crashed into Satoru and not the kid, right? But then, because Satoru went back in time, it was gonna be the kid instead. I don't know. I'm just trying to think about, like, this is not in his favor. I think Satoru is going to die. Like, I said this last week, I think Satoru has a big death flag because it needs to correct. It's like Chloe from Life is Strange, you know? Like, it needs to be corrected. The fact that he's alive is not supposed to be real. It's an accident, almost. Oh my god, okay. Oh boy! Oh my god, it's his adult self and his kid self! I'm gonna cry! Oh no! See, that kid! Is that not— oh, that guy in the suit is already— I'm so sus because the murderer is wearing a suit. I know that's one of their teachers, but that's even more suspicious. But yeah, I wonder if any of those kids are in the future. Oh, and then there's this adult Satoru. This is so— oh my god, this is so messed up. Oh wait, no, that was Yuki with the eyes covered. Those two other people, I don't know. Okay, that kid. Sure. Okay, men. I think one of those was the guy at the pizza place. Okay, the little girl. See, this is what I'm like, I don't understand! Oh, fuck. Is the girl gonna die too? Like the pizza place girl? Is that what that meant? Because they were all in the same scene together. Oh, shit. Oh, Satoru. Satoru, you are not long for this world. Hold on, guys. Because I had my phone out looking at the notes, my phone is going off, but I can't pause because it's a time sync. There we go. We just do not disturb that shit. Please do not disturb me in my erase reaction. Yeah, so the fact that Satoru's on the roof doesn't fill me with— see, the masked man! I'm so, like, feral over this. I'm mad. Oh my god, I'm so upset. Okay, so he did it then. It's him, right? He has the same brown eyes that could be red. He's wearing the suit. It's clearly this man that is kidnapping people, right? Like, I'm not crazy. You don't remember? Bro, it's the only one that's empty, please. Oh. I mean, I guess, like, if you asked me where I sat in elementary school, I probably wouldn't have remembered either, so I can't blame him. Huh? Okay. Bro, I need to, like, I need a map of all the kids' names, because I'm not sure. Oh, well. Oh my god, Dragon Quest! Oh, that's hilarious! Oh my god, what's not wrong? I mean, shouldn't he? Okay. I don't understand, like, you know what I mean? That wouldn't be abnormal. If you go to the nurse's office, you would usually take your stuff, so I'm not sure, you know? But yeah, this kid is just, I mean, I understand though, right? Like, see, and like, I don't know. I feel like the other theory that I had was that this already all happened to Satoru and he just forgot, right? And so that's why the mom is like, oh, like, you had a weird thing like this when you were a kid. Like, it's because this stuff already happened. Yes! Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Aww. See? Okay. Nah, that's sus as hell, bro. The Power Ranger thing, man. And the fact that, like, he's looking at the Power Ranger thing and thinking of his mom. Like, it's so important, you know? Wouldn't his mom get a call from the school being like, Yeah, she must be like, why does my son, like, love me so much? You know what I mean? Because, like, I would be such a well-behaved kid after that. Like, if I was sent back in time and knew what happened, I'd be like, whatever you want, Mom, just don't leave me, please. You know? I thought she was gonna be mad at him because he skipped school, but... Yeah, I mean, yeah, he did. See, this is what I mean. Oh. Oh. Yeah, you don't realize. Oh, that's so fucked up. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. No, but yes, I think. Oh. Okay. Yeah, like... Exactly, okay. Well, yeah, because if they actually found the murderer, the mom wouldn't have died. Not yet! Don't you remember your friends got kidnapped, bestie? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Did you forget already? Like, your friend got kidnapped, remember? Yeah, that's the girl that they were like, oh, you guys are both weird. Oh. Oh, no! Oh, honey, no! Oh, my God. Ah! Bro, you forgot your friends, too? Like, oh, my God. I have dreams about elementary school all the time. I don't know if that's a common experience, though, so anyways. So this kid gets... There were 4 of them, or 3 of them that were kidnapped, right? So I think it's that kid and the girl, and then 2 other people, right? Oh my god. Ah! Bro, you're so loud! Everybody knows, bestie! Oh my god, they do not! I like this guy though, but see, is that the guy that works at the pizza place? Ew! Yeah, well... Kazu's cute! I like Kazu! What? Bestie, what? Violence! Oh my goodness! Oh, good! Whoa, whoa, whoa! What does that mean? Okay, yeah. Does she know? What the hell? Oh, but she can't relate, you know? What? Right, yeah. I don't think it's her mom. I think it's the teacher, as fucked up as that sounds. Oh, Yuki is still here. Wait, are we done? No! Wait, that had to be the halfway point. Yeah, okay. I'm like, what the hell? What is happening? Kids just goofing around, I guess. Right, because that's, like, Yuki gave him advice. Right. So, like, he put on a fake personality to be more sociable. Oh my god. Badly! There's so many weird details, like the kid's shoe fell off and he has a hole in his sock. I don't know, like, I guess just stuff about childhood, right? But... oh. I feel like there's something about this kid, man. Oh, yeah. Right, so even, it's crazy how, like, that's the only thing that they have to worry about, right? Like, the idea of, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, the idea that, oh, that's the biggest thing that you have to worry about is, like, oh, if this relationship doesn't go well, you still have to see the person, you know? Oh my god. Oh! See, he knows that something's wrong. Like, yeah, my friend has all these memory issues. Oh, dear. I feel like, I don't know, like, maybe, it probably wouldn't work if he just told Kenya, but for some reason I have a feeling that Kenya would believe him if Satoru was like, yeah, I came back from the future. See? Okay, so he thinks it too. Oh, that's nice. Oh. Badly. It was bad. Bestie, it was bad. Oh, dear. Wait! Wait a minute. Oh, no. Wait a minute. It's this kid. Wait. The kid has the murderer's eyes. Am I crazy? Hold on a second. No, but it couldn't have been another kid kidnapping people. I mean, maybe it could have been. Kenya, you're on my suspicion list because I just seeing Kenya's eyes and he has the same messy hair. I just realized. Oh. But let's come back to that later. Oh. Ah. Damn, Jesus. This is probably something I would have written as a kid, though. Like, anyways. Hmm. Oh, dear. Oh, no. Oh, guys. Oh, yeah, well. Oh no, not the ending song playing, the limb motif. Wait, and the Power Ranger will be at the party, right? So, like, this would point towards the fact that the future, like, that all of this happened before. Because, like, it's like, oh, Satoru never talked about a party until now, but the only reason he wants to do a party is to do this, right? Like, oh no, but wait a minute. Oh. She's trying to count the friends. Oh. Oh my goodness. I wonder if the thing he wrote about has anything to do with, like, the pages of his manga getting ripped up or something. Bro, they still can't go to the hideout, man. It's this kid! This kid grew up and murdered the mom! I swear! I don't understand how! But, like, he looks so sus now. Right! I don't think it's the mom. I think that's the fucked up part. Is that it's not the mom, it's that she's trying to hide what happened to her mom? What happened from her mom? I don't know. Or maybe it is as simple as the mom. She seems to think that her mom doesn't care about her because she has that smile throwing away her stuff, but... Oh my god. That's so funny. Oh dear. What? Oh, I see. Oh, I like that, like, he's being honest. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, bro! Ugh. The show's so good. Oh, okay, well maybe it was the mom then. Maybe it was that simple. Oh. Oh, that's so nice. Wait a minute though. What if it's because of the party that the man gets the idea to kidnap the kids though? That's what I'm worried about. Like, you know what I mean? Because if my theory's right about the Power Ranger, that means that Satoru trying to fix things only fucked it up! Oh. And he can't find his mittens, which I feel like that's relevant somehow. That's funny. Oh, that's nice! Oh. Yeah, what's happens? Oh my god! Oh no, the leitmotif again! Okay, oh my god. And here's the song that I keep talking about. I'm so like, I need to rewatch that episode again! One time is not good enough! Oh god, okay, so now I'm cooking a couple things. Satoru wants to fix things, so he's inviting all the kids to the party, but if the original murderer was the Power Ranger guy, then that's a problem. Like, that's, like, objectively not good, because the Power Ranger, that's where he got all the idea to kidnap all 4 of them, or 5 of them, right? It's gonna be 5 now, because he, like, of all the kids at the party, right? Okay, hold on. Let me try to think. I'm trying to think of other things, though. That's not the only thing I'm thinking about. I'm also, like... I wonder, though, if the murderer in the past is not the same as the murderer in the present. Because Kenya looks... Now that I'm looking at him and I remember what our murderer looks like, I think it's Kenya, bro! I know that sounds kind of crazy, but, like, I don't know, like, there's something about his eyes and, like, the red, and, like, but no, but it couldn't have been Kenya back then. But the mom called someone because something occurred to her. But that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't know, there's just, something is not mathing correctly over here. Oh, okay, so hold on. We have to go back to the other episode. Okay, so we have Yuki with the bar over his eyes. That makes sense to me, and all the other scenes in the OP just seem to be like the kids hanging out. But then we have a girl and then we have a guy, and it seems like they're older, so it's like, is that... I don't know, like, are those the detectives in the present time? Like, who are these people? I mean, one of them kind of looks like the mom, has the same lips as the mom, but doesn't have the same hair as the mom, so it would take some stretching. Like, maybe that was the mom when she was younger, and then Satoru's dad, question mark, and they went their separate ways, so that's why there's the blackout on that over their eyes. But see, then you have the kid, and I'm like, Kenya, why are your eyes scratched out? Like, what did you do, bestie, right? So that was the first thing that I was like, that was why I was like, I'm a little suspicious of why would they black out the eyes of this kid. Then you have Pizza Man, and then the man with the glasses, right? So I'm like, well, how's the pizza guy involved in all this? That's the guy from the pizza place, right? So I do wonder if we will be going back to the future at all. I don't know who that other guy with the glasses was, but see, then you have the mom, right? Which, like, that makes sense to me. Then you have the girl. See, I wonder, like... No, but this wouldn't make a lot of sense. I just wonder if, like, Ari is somehow the ghost of the girl and nobody else can see her. And so when Satoru talks about, like, that girl's so annoying, the guy at the pizza place is like, who are you talking about? Like, I don't know, because they look, I guess they just both have brown hair, but I guess these are just, like, the women who were important to him. Like, you have the mom, and then you have the friend, right? And then you have, like, the pizza place girl. And so maybe they just represent sort of ends of a spectrum. Maybe that's why it's like, she's really optimistic. This girl is, like, in the worst place of her life right now, and then you have, like, the mom, like, maybe that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, oh god, I can't remember a word for it, but there's some sort of, like, school of, like, philosophy thing, and it's like, oh, you know, the happy-go-lucky character represents that one, and then the other end of the spectrum, and then maybe somewhere in the middle, because her life could be different. Like, I don't know, because I wouldn't say the mom is, like, necessarily, like, she's not depressed, or she's not, like, I don't think it's nihilistic, but she's not, you know what I mean? And so, I don't know if that's exactly right, but I could see the girl being, like, it could go two ways, like, be with the, like, she could go the direction of the mom, which is more realistic and maybe a bit more jaded, or the direction of, I think they called her Ari, right? The pizza place girl. I don't know about all that, but then you have the man with the little hat, right? And so that has to be the murderer, right? And so is it saying, like, the murderer killed all of them, and in that case, Ari is there, but we haven't gone back to the future yet. I'm like, I don't know. I'm kind of convinced that it's Kenya now, all of a sudden, or that maybe in the past, it was somebody else. Yeah, I mean, obviously, in the past it was someone else, but in the future it was Kenya, and that Kenya did this I don't know why, because he holds Satoru responsible for the fact that Satoru was the only one that got out or something. I don't know. I'm trying to cook, but maybe I'm burning the food. But you have some other weird, like, imagery here where you have Satoru under the bridge and then you have Satoru in jail, which, like, I guess instead of Yuki in jail, you have the girl. It seems like it's the girl who dead because of the bruise on her leg, right? But then you have this older girl, like, with some sort of injury, and so is that supposed to be the girl at the pizza place or something else? And I don't know, man. I'm trying so hard right now. Then there's the fire that the mom talks about in the past. She's like, oh, you said that about a small fire once, but there's, like, literally explosions going on, so I don't know what the definition of small fire is. Looks like a pretty big fire to me, right? And then just the imagery with the bullets and the clock stopping. I think Satoru's gonna die, though, right? Like, this doesn't really give me a lot of faith and optimism and happiness. Like, the fact that we see Satoru running from something and then he gets hit. Actually, I think that there's a, hold on, there's a frame in the glass here. Can we get that? Okay, yeah, so that must be then the guy in the suit is the murderer. The only problem is there's nobody introduced in the show right now who looks like that. Like, there's no one who really looks remotely the same. And then also the guy who killed, the guy who was kidnapping the girl had shaggy hair. This guy's hair is pulled back. So we're still not really, like, we haven't really gotten anywhere in terms of who the murderer is. I still think that it's the Power Ranger. Can I get a shot on the teacher? Can we get a look at the teacher? Because that's what I was suspicious about. I thought, okay, maybe it's the teacher. Maybe it's him. I don't know. The teacher's moonlighting as the Power Ranger in the Power Ranger costume. I don't know. They don't look that alike. The teacher doesn't, I don't know, because that was my first thought, that it was the teacher, because the teacher has, I'm looking for those red eyes, right? But I'm kind of cooking, I feel like I'm cooking with my idea that maybe it was the teacher in the past. He could look similar if he, you know, pulled his hair back, but, like, I think that it was, if anything, it's a teacher in the past, and then it's Kenya in the future. I'm so sus. I'm like, yeah, like, Kenya has something to do with it. It's like they showed, the way that they showed his eyes in that one shot was sus as hell. So yeah, maybe it's the teacher. That would kind of make sense, because that's the first thing I thought. Like, this teacher's in a suit, which I know is, like, obviously Japan, like, it's not that abnormal, you know, for teachers to dress up, especially if the school has a uniform. This school doesn't, but I'm just saying in general. But, like, there's a really strange, like, there's a bizarre shot with Kenya right here, like, in this specific area, where I was like, okay, his eyes are brown in this scene, but then when he has the side shot, his eyes look more red, like how the murderer was red. I feel like, so Arnold's a couple episodes ahead of me, right? I feel like Arnold's gonna watch this, and I mean, I'm sure you guys are gonna watch it too. You guys are gonna be like, who let Cal cook? Cal should not be allowed to cook, right? Because I'm trying so hard, and I don't know. But I think that, like, at least theming-wise, this episode was really interesting. And I think there's a lot to dig into. I'm struggling to find the shot that I was talking about, like, with his, like, there was a side shot of his eyeballs, and just the way that it was shot, it looked a lot like, yeah, it was this one. As the car is going by, his eyes look red, right? So his eyes are red instead of how they're normally brown in the light. So, like, what did they mean by this? What did they mean by that? Like, is it possible that Kenya blames Satoru and your birthday party caused me to lose, like, the person I cared about? Because what if the thing is, what if Kenya has a crush on the girl too? The girl, I didn't exactly catch her name. I have to look back. But, like, what if Satoru, like, that's why they're having this conversation, because, like, Kenya, oh my god, Kenya was also in love with her, and he blamed Satoru for the murder, like, the fact that the murder happened, and so when the mom calls, I don't know, but that may be too complicated, because then why would he kill the mom? I guess just as an act of revenge, right? Like, oh, you're figuring out who the murderer was all these years later, and, like, you knew the whole time, but you could have stopped this, and because of you, I lost, like, the person that I loved in middle school, or something. Okay, because here's what I'm saying, right? So the mom called someone on the phone, And so, like, what if it's like that is somehow, I don't know how Kenya would get involved in all this, but it's like, oh, you finally figured it out all these years later, right? And you knew the entire time who it was, and, like, you've let it go. So maybe it was like Kenya's revenge was killing the mom. I don't know. That may be a little bit too crack for today. But I do, what I enjoy, though, is how this show, at least in terms of, let's put all the murderer stuff aside, because, you know, I tend to get this happened with Beastars, right? So Beastars, if you guys don't know, there's a murder at the beginning of episode 1 of Beastars. The problem is that they do not address this murder until season 2. And so I got really, when I was watching Beastars, I was really distracted by, like, every episode review I did, it was, okay, but what about the murderer, though, right? Like, you know, commentating on all these themes and stuff, and then I get distracted by the murder, and eventually people had to tell me, like, Cal, the murderer is not the most important part of Beastars right now. Like, it does come back later, but, like, that's not really, like, the show is not a murder mystery in the sense of you have to figure out who did it. That's not the point. And I think that this episode really drove that home, because there's a lot more themes of, like, just childhood, and it's weird, right? Because, you know, Satoru doesn't remember some things, and for some of those things, I'm like, okay, valid, right? Like, he doesn't remember where he used to sit, which if you threw me back as a child, I wouldn't remember either, but just these other things that he doesn't remember, like his friends, I don't know, like just the group of friends he was a part of, and stuff like that. I don't know, I wonder if the birthday party, like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where he did the birthday party to make sure no one got kidnapped, but the birthday party was the inciting incident for the kidnapping, and if he just, like, did nothing and moved schools or something, maybe, I don't know, the kidnapping wouldn't have happened, right? And so he doesn't remember, but it was actually him the whole time, which is gonna be, I think, pretty fucked up. I guess I do think that we're gonna go back to the future then at some point and check in with, like, adult Satoru, because it seems like that adult Satoru is, I don't know, like, it's just giving, like, that he's floating in the void. Like, obviously he's in the mind of his childhood self, but I kind of feel like he could be ripped out of the childhood self at any point, because you have the childhood self talking, and then you have the lines where Satoru, the adult, is talking, and that these lines overlap each other, which I think is a really cool effect, but it almost gives me the vibe that, like, we will be ripped out of Satoru, like, the child Satoru, and in the future, somehow, like, we'll see where adult Satoru still is based on past Satoru's actions, and then Satoru in prison is going to be like, well, I'm changing stuff in the past, what did I do wrong? Like, what the hell? And so I think that that's interesting. But yeah, just the themes about childhood, like, just those little things, right? Like, the kid, he kicks off his shoe, and he has a hole in his sock. Or, like, okay, like, I didn't really need to see the kids in the bathroom, right? But, like, the fact that they're, I don't know, peeing on each other or whatever, I guess teenage boys do that. Like, obviously, I'm a girl, I use the girls' bathroom, that never happened, but yeah, I'm sure something like that happened. So you have the contrast of childhood while Satoru is trying to, like, solve an actual crime that is about to be committed, and the biggest thing that they worry about is, oh, well, you know, when we move on to grade 6 next year, you're still gonna be in the same class, so if you get into any romantic entanglements, don't fuck it up, because you still have to see each other. Like, it's just so interesting that that's the vibe that they're going for, is that you, first of all, the fact that Satoru does and does not remember, like, the things about his childhood he does and does not remember, and that he's able to appreciate certain things more because he's able to just look at them with an adult lens, right? Like, if we knew, I don't know, like, if we knew what happened to our parents, we would have appreciated them more, right? And that's really resonant, but I also think just the idea of the childhood aspects, like the fact they have a secret hideout, which now I'm like, okay, well, was the secret hideout the place in the thing? Like, it's not actually the murderer's basement, but they're all in the secret hideout then in the picture that's on Crunchyroll. But yeah, like, it's just, and, you know, the Power Ranger mask, which again, I'm sort of, like, sussing about, but I do wonder, because he says something about yokai, right? Which are spirits. So he's basically saying, like, the times that his mom has this weird, like, all-seeing eye that she can guess what he's thinking, it's spirits. And so I wonder if the implication is just, like, that Satoru doesn't realize how easy he is to read sometimes, instead of what I said, which was that somebody, like, other people also have clairvoyance, but they just don't use it as effectively. Because I said maybe, you know, Yuki had that clairvoyance because he does the same guessing as Ari does. I wonder about that, if it's just that it's not like real, right? It's not real clairvoyance. Satoru's the only one that does have powers. But at the same time, I don't know, I just wonder about that. I guess I was cooking too much with the mom. I guess the mom is just abusive. Like, I was trying to be like, no, the mom is a fake out. It's not actually the mom, it's the teacher or something. Like, you know, I don't know. But I guess that's probably not true. It probably is just that the mom is abusive, but yeah, that was really disturbing to watch. Just the bruise that she has on her leg, too. That's really fucked up. I feel like that this needs, again, a rewatch and then with some notes, but I really enjoyed this episode. I thought that the themes it was conveying were really interesting. It just made me think, like, I think that that's kind of the purpose of the show, too, is, like, making you think about your own childhood. I think that the essay he's talking about has something to do with in episode 1, you see the pages getting drenched in the water. Like, I feel like that those are somehow connected to each other, and that it'll be like, that's the first time he wrote something that was actually honest, and the last time he wrote something actually honest was when he was a child. And so if Satoru does live, if he does live to tell the tale, I think it'll be that he publishes whatever that is, right? Like the essay that he wrote, or he makes the essay that he wrote into some sort of story, because he was like, I don't even remember what I wrote about, but I'm sure that that thing that he wrote about has more heart in it than whatever he's written as an adult, and it'll be this full circle situation. But yeah, Satoru death flags still existent. Kenya is sus. I'm sorry. I haven't exactly figured out how he's sus, but like he has that same shaggy hair. And the guy's hair was brown. The murderer in this timeline has black hair and again slicked back, which is giving like maybe if the teacher changed his hairstyle would look more alike. Maybe it's that. Like, could Kenya and Yuki be related? And that's what the problem is? And so, like, whoever the mom called, like, that really, I don't know, like, it pissed Kenya off. But see, the problem is that the same person, we assume the same person that went to kill the mom also tried to kidnap that little girl. So the implication would be is that Kenya grew up and started kidnapping people because his brother was falsely accused of kidnapping people, which, like, 1 plus 1 is not necessarily equaling 2 with that. And so I'm trying to figure out, but, like, just the fact that they had that shot with the bars and his eyes, that's what's really throwing me off, because the bar thing gives prison, right? Like, you know what I mean? Obviously, it's the schoolyard bars, but, like, in terms of framing, and then it's at a very similar angle to when we saw the murderer's eyes, and then they have this red glow to them. Is he just being possessed by the spirit of the murderer? That would be kind of funny. Or not funny, that's not nice, but, like, it would be interesting if Kenya is somehow possessed in the same way Satoru is, like, possessing his childhood self, right? So I wonder, like, is the eye color change some sort of signal that that's happening? I don't know. I'm just cooking too much, but I really did enjoy. Again, this is one of those shows where I definitely need to rewatch again in order to talk about some of the themes a bit more in depth. So I know that I used to do the notes for the same episode in the same video, but I think that it is better to leave it here for today, let these thoughts marinate, let these thoughts take hold on some of you, and then going into episode 3, I will talk about anything in episode 2 that I didn't quite catch or I didn't quite understand and what have you. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you for attending Calxiyn's Royal Court. As always, if you want to see more, you should check out the Patreon for the early access to some reactions, and of course the ad-free timer and subtitle time sync, all that stuff. So I hope you guys had fun, and I'll see you later. Bye!